When you think of the Pentagon, you think of people like Brute Krulak and Bull Halsey sitting around talking about how to defeat the enemy. If you went there now, you might mistake it for the professor's lounge at Duke. Doesn't sound like a very fearsome warfighting machine. Here's the latest example. Congressman Michael Waltz wrote today to the superintendent of West Point about the, quote, introduction of elements of critical race theory into cadet instruction. Specifically, cadets sat through a lecture entitled Understanding Whiteness and White Rage. Just a pure racial attack, one of many. Cadets were also shown a slide called White Power at West Point. One of the slide's examples of, quote, white power was a student saying affirmative action proved America isn't racist toward African Americans. It's grotesque. Congressman Michael Waltz joins us tonight, and we're happy that he's here. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
I assume these documents are real. It's hard to believe they're real. Tell us what's going on at the Service Academy at West Point.
Yeah, I received these documents from disturbed soldiers, cadets, and their family members who were incensed at what they're being taught. And Tucker, of course, as a military, we should always work to eradicate extremism. We should never tolerate racism. But this goes way too far. And one of the things that has me so disturbed as a member of the Armed Services Committee and a combat veteran is when you come into the United States Army, from day one, you're all the same. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, where you came from, your heads are shaved, you're given the same uniform, you're told you bleed Army green, and the only skin color you should worry about is camouflage. And I could tell you from firsthand experience, the enemy's bullets don't care about black, white, or brown, or political party, or race or religion, or any of that. And we shouldn't care about it either as we're teaching the future leaders of the United States Army.
Well, any decent person opposes racism. This is racism. It's the definition of it. If West Point was teaching that black people are bad and black rage and, black supremacy, we'd shut the place down, like tonight, and we'd fire the people doing it. Are we going to do that here?
Well, and when you have somebody like Dr. Carol Anderson from Emory University, who wrote the book Understanding White Rage, and in it says things like whites are triggered by the advancement of blacks, who has just tweeted recently that Republicans are white supremacists. I mean, that is antithetical to an apolitical military and one that is focused on winning wars. And Tucker is a Green Beret. I can't imagine being in a situation in combat and I'm ordering a soldier to charge the machine gun, and he now has a seed planted in the back of his mind. Am I sending him because he's African American? Should I feel guilty because of white privilege? That is absolutely destructive to morale, to unity, to everything that I know from a military that, by the way, integrated way before the rest of the country in 1948. Look, Tucker, we'll deal with all of these things as a society, but the military has to stay a very special place, focused on having the best of the best to defeat the nation's enemies in China, Russia, Iran, and others if we have to.
That's for sure. I hope the officers who allowed this are discharged dishonorably, immediately. This is dishonorable. Abetting racial attacks at West Point? It's too much. I appreciate, Congressman, you're bringing attention to this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tucker.